this is going to be a more personal video that's not fun, and it's just more my struggle with anxiety. I'm not by any means saying my anxiety is worse than anyone else's. I think for each individual it feels worse than what someone else might be going through, but it's not. We all suffer the same in a different way. I don't know if that made sense, but basically I'm saying I'm not claiming mine is any worse than others and I've had a worse time of it, because I probably haven't, but to me it feels like absolute dog. From a young age I've always had signs of anxiety, I think. Now that I look back at it, it's kind of like, it's either anxiety or I'm just a really weird kid, because I remember I used to, I'm just gonna say that my anxiety is triggered by a phobia sometimes, mainly, and my phobia is vomit, which is just lovely. My phobia goes so far, vomit, I don't even like saying the word, I don't like hearing people vomit, I don't like seeing people vomit, I don't like smelling vomit, I don't like tasting vomit. Not that I eat vomit, I mean like if I've been sick I don't like tasting it. I just don't, anything to do with it, nothing, don't like the mention of it, don't like pictures of it, don't like nothing. So it's quite bad. Because of my phobia of vomit, I have problems with food, and I've had this since I was so young. Every time we went out for family outings at restaurants, I couldn't eat. I didn't want to order anything, had to eat before I go to like the restaurants, and I was like, no, not touching it. No. Because I always thought the food at a restaurant would be poisoned, undercooked, and or anything, I don't know, I just didn't trust any restaurant in the world. And poisoning and undercooked kind of would make you sick, obviously, so that's where that links in with the phobia of vomit. And I don't know if that was anxiety or just a phobia, but my anxiety definitely stemmed from that phobia. And to this day I still don't like eating out in restaurants. Like, I do it now, like I manage to eat food, but 9 times out of 10 I don't normally trust it still. I'm a pescatarian now, which is so much better for me, because it was normally meat that I was scared was going to be undercooked, and I don't have to deal with that anymore. Just the fish, but I don't care too much about that. I mean, like, being undercooked, I don't mean I don't care about fish. This video is not about fish. Right, yeah, so my first signs of anxiety I guess were like eating out in restaurants and stuff, and definitely had signs of maybe separation anxiety when I was younger, like from my mum, because when I first started school, oh my god, I was crying my eyes out the whole day because I just wanted to go home. And apparently on my first day of school, because I had to be practically dragged into the school because I just wanted to go home, apparently, yeah, I said to my teacher like halfway through the day, I was like, can I go home now, because I thought it was optional, but unfortunately it wasn't, and I had about millions of years left of education to go through and just suffer through. I hate it, school. I'm so glad it's over, and I finished college now, and I had such bad anxiety at college for the last year. The first year wasn't too bad, and I'm just finished, and now I'm just gonna have to find work and have anxiety there. Yay! I'm just rambling, I'm going off into the future. Let's talk about how I knew I had anxiety and the age I kind of found out. Alright, so I had anxiety a lot through my life. I just never knew what it was because my parents didn't know. We weren't made aware of it back then because it wasn't like talked about in our family anyway. Probably was outside of our family. And basically there was a stage. Okay, so I'll tell you when I knew I had anxiety. Okay, sorry, I just take ages to get to the point. So me and my dad went out to a restaurant one time when I was 14, and because I'd recently turned pescatarian, I normally had meat at the restaurant we were going to, so I had to find something new to eat that I'd never had before. So I went for the goat's cheese pasta. I hate goat's cheese. Never want to go near that stuff again. The smell, the taste, everything makes me want to vomit, and it literally did when I ate that. So when I ate that, I was like, I don't like this too much. So I kind of left my dad to eat the rest of it, and he liked it. He eats anything. So I started to feel really sick in the restaurant, and the fear came true because I don't know if that was like, I don't know what was wrong with it. I don't know if there was like, undercooked, although it doesn't really matter, does it, with cheese, but you know, someone was dodgy. And I started to feel so sick, but it wasn't a sick, like of an illness sick. But at the time, that's what I thought it was. So I said to my dad, oh my god, I feel really sick, can we just please go? And I thought I was going to be sick. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to be sick in front of everyone in the restaurant, yay! I also have social anxiety, so that would have been horrific. My dad had to quickly pay the bill and everything. Everyone was taking so long, like I swear to god, it's so typical that when you need to go, everything takes so long, and it's like, please hurry up. But yeah, once we got out, I went home. And then the next couple of days I thought I had food poisoning or something because I had the shits. I had the shits. I think, I can't remember that much. But I was feeling so nauseous. I couldn't eat. The smell of food, the look of food at home, no. And it was getting so bad, it was getting me panicky, I couldn't eat. I was losing weight. Like, I look really skinny now, like I could probably pass like extremely underweight, because I am underweight and it looks extremely underweight, and I'm so self-conscious about it, and I know I look really skinny, but I'm not suffering with an eating disorder, so it's just down to anxiety and why I'm like this. Where was I going with my story? Yeah, basically days, weeks had gone past. I was starting to, it was dictating my life, the sick feeling. I couldn't eat, I didn't want to go out in case I was sick, I just couldn't do anything, honestly, nothing. And basically it was getting me not like, I guess depressed. I don't like saying I have that, but I guess a lot of people have it so much worse, but I guess maybe a mild form still to this day, because I'll get into that. But it was just making me want to die. Like, honestly, I was thinking of ways, I was thinking, why should I live? Like, I was doing pros and cons of living and dying. The dying one was pretty damn long. But obviously I didn't kill myself because I'm here. Yeah, it was getting me depressed. I was just like, if I can't go out and enjoy myself, if I'm scared of being sick at anything, like going anywhere, if I'm scared of being sick when I eat, what is the point of life? If I can't eat, I can't go out and enjoy myself, and I just can't live my normal life. Now, anyone would think, what the hell's the point in living? But, and then my mum started googling it because it was just flipping like horrendous. I can't even describe how bad it was making me feel, because one night it actually did make me sick, and my anxiety does make me physically sick when it gets to a really panicked point, and that's horrible. Like, it's my worst nightmare, because at first my anxiety never made me sick, and when it started to make me sick I was like, okay, it's got enough control over me that it can actually make me have my worst phobia come true, like be sick. And that's why I'm anxious with everything I do, because it dictates my life, basically. Yeah, so my mum googled the symptoms and it came up with, is it called general anxiety? I don't know what the actual name for it is, but it's like, it is anxiety. And I was like, oh great, just another problem to add to my list. So that's when I knew, when I was about 14. But I had suffered with it way before then as well, so it wasn't just apparent at that age, like, yeah. But after those weeks, I was like having so much time off school because I just didn't want to leave the house. But I kind of trained my brain somehow, don't ask me how, because I still don't know. I trained my brain to get over it, essentially, and I had to eat, I had to go out, I had to do these things, like, I would have died otherwise. So after about a month or 2 or 3 maybe, which is a long time, I had got over it near enough completely. Like, it was there here and there, but it wasn't as bad as that. That was my first really bad episode of it. So years had gone by. 2015 was my exams, and I was getting bits of anxiety during the exams, just because obviously, like exams, stressful times, stressful people around me, just getting all the energy, and then my anxiety appeared. Because during my exams, because of my phobia and my anxiety, I was scared I was going to be sick in the middle of like the exam hall. Like, why would I be? There's no reason why I would be, but my brain convinced me that I would be, so that's where I got my anxiety there. After that, 2015, for the most part what I remember seemed really good. I loved the first year of college, like my anxiety was practically non-existent, like I was just so happy. And then I have problems with relationships. Like they always give me anxiety, and like really bad anxiety. I don't want to go into it too much because I'm in one now, so it doesn't really matter really. But all you need to know is it gets me really, really, really anxious. Near the end of the first year of college, I got into a relationship with the person I'm with now, and I've been with him for a year and 3 months this month, and since the day I found out he liked me to this day, I'm not blaming this on him by the way, like this is not his fault, it's my brain and my anxiety's fault. Yeah, from that day to this day, my anxiety has been at the worst it has ever been in my life, and it's just not left me. Like, the one I told you about, the bad episode I told you about before when I was 14, is not even a patch on what I'm going through now and what I have been going through. This is so depressing, isn't it? I know I already said this, I'm not blaming it on my boyfriend, because he is so lovely, like he is unbelievably understandable with my anxiety, so he is not doing anything to cause it intentionally. It's just, I don't know, I guess I feel trapped in a relationship, but I'm not. Maybe it's that, I don't know, maybe that's the cause of it, who knows. I think that is the main thing that started my anxiety off to be as bad as it is now. I have been sick so many times with it. I have gone through times where I've not been eating for days, and that's become a lot more frequent. Like, at the moment I've just got back into, okay, you're not going to be sick every time you eat, you've got to eat. Because I only had that really bad episode of not being able to eat like about a week or two ago maybe. Like, they come so often now, and it's so hard for me because I just keep losing weight. I've been going to a dietitian. I was gaining weight. I was getting to like 7.5 stone, which I know is still really underweight, but it's the best I've ever been. And I've just gone back down to, I've nearly dropped a whole stone, basically. Nearly, not completely, but that's a lot because of my anxiety. And it's really annoying me. My anxiety's been making me sick so often. I have had times where I've had migraines, not from anxiety, this is from like a period thing. And because they were so bad, they were making me feel sick, and my anxiety got triggered by the sick feeling, and I threw up from it a lot. So after that night, I was getting anxiety, couldn't eat because I was like, oh my god, I'm going to be sick, I'm going to get a migraine, and it's going to happen again. And I've had that a couple of times. But the migraine thing, I've got over that a little bit more now because that was in March. And then there was a time when my mum came home drunk. She doesn't do that often, by the way, it was just like a one-off. And she was being sick everywhere. Again, sick, cannot handle it. I was having anxiety as it was, and when someone's drunk, they can't help me, and my mum's normally the one that helps me, and I felt so alone and so helpless and so like just so out of control of myself and my mind. When I heard her being sick, when I saw the sick on the floor, when I knew she was feeling sick, when I knew she couldn't help me, I was all alone, and it made me sick so many times, and I was shaking, hyperventilating. I couldn't. Anything I looked at made me feel sick. Anything, my boyfriend was messaging me, and I couldn't even speak to him because he was making me feel sick. That was really bad. That sounds really bad. But everything was making me feel sick because I was just like, I was in proper panic mode because my mum was drunk and being sick, and I was like, I'm trapped in a house with someone that's throwing up and like drunk. So that was horrible, and that set my anxiety off so bloody bad. So for weeks I couldn't eat, I didn't want to go to college. I didn't have that much time of college, but I had quite a bit of time of college this year compared to my first year because of my anxiety. And I had Australia coming up during this bad episode of anxiety, so I was like, I can't do it, I can't do that. A practically 24-hour flight. It wasn't 24 hours, it was like 19, 20, 21, 22, I don't know. Irrelevant. So when I went on that flight, I honestly broke down in the airport crying, and it sounds so pathetic and I wanted to die because I was so embarrassed, but I just did. It was... ugh. I was like, Mum, I want to go home, I don't want to get on that plane, I cannot physically travel for that long amount of time trapped in something in the air where I can't turn back, and I can't go to a country that's on the other side of the world to me, because I can't go home whenever I want, and it's just, nah, I can't do it. It's like, no, we're past security now, you can't go back, and I was like, great, you tell me this now. And then I started crying because I was like panicking. I was like, okay, I am flipping trapped, I have to get on this plane or I'm being, I don't know, dragged on, which I was. My mum near enough made me go on the plane. And I was just crying and crying and crying, and these kids were looking at me and I was like, oh my god, I look like such a pathetic crybaby. And so the flight to Australia, I didn't eat for about 21 hours straight. I was sick on the plane once because from my anxiety, or like twice. And then when we got to Sydney airport, I felt like I was gonna faint and collapse. I didn't, but because I had no food in me for, let's say, 24 hours and barely any liquids, I could have very easily flipping died. I could have collapsed like so easily. I was walking and my heart felt like it's going to give out, or I was going to have a heart attack. And I was like, okay, I'm either going to have to be carried out of here by an ambulance because I'm going to collapse or have a heart attack or something from not eating for this long, or I'm going to have to go and eat something as much as my anxiety doesn't want me to. So I had to force myself to eat a little cereal bar or a banana or both. And you know, that was so hard for me, as pathetic and little as those little things were. And as easy as anyone could eat those, like normally, my anxiety just made me think, you're going to throw this up. Why are you eating this? It's just going to make you ill. You need to go home. My anxiety is like a little voice in my mind, and it just makes me feel great. During the time I was in Australia, I did get anxiety, but it didn't make me vomit while I was there or on the plane ride back. But I definitely had it still, and I couldn't, the whole holiday of anxiety, yeah, the whole holiday of Australia, I barely ate. Like, I was practically starving myself because I had to. My anxiety wouldn't physically let me eat. And I know people could say that don't suffer with anxiety and don't understand it. Why didn't you just force yourself? And I kind of did. I did force myself. Even if they were little things, I was just so scared I was going to be sick. And if I was sick that far away from home in Australia, I was like, oh my god, if I get ill, I can't go to a foreign hospital. I need to go home, and if I'm going to be ill, I need to be ill at home and be at a hospital that's at my home, in my home country. And not that I don't trust anyone in the other countries, I just feel more comfortable in my own country. But even in my own country, I don't like it. I just didn't want to be sick and then have to have the plane ride home where I was ill, so I just avoided food. But yeah, after that, I had exams at college where I obviously had anxiety there because at college I was just, I just felt like I was going to be sick every day and every morning. There was a time on the train where I had to run to the toilet with my friend who had to hold my hair back while I was near enough being sick, but I was just heaving. There was times where I went around my boyfriends with my friends from college and I was heaving, I couldn't eat, I was a state. I was crying, I was panicking, hyperventilating, same symptoms as I normally get. There's just so many hard times, like I just can't do normal things that I used to be able to do like very easily, and it just really upsets me because I'm not enjoying life anymore because of my anxiety. Life without anxiety would be bloody amazing and I would love it. But because I'm tied down with this huge weight that just will not shift, I am wanting to honestly end my life. Ooh, I don't like saying that sort of shit to people. I know I'm laughing about it because that's just my nerves and my awkwardness, but yeah, awkward. I've been to mediums and tarot card readers. I don't know if you believe in that kind of stuff, but from the times that I went, it was pretty damn spot on with everything that I'm going through, everything that I've been through. The tarot card reading was so spot on. The second thing she kind of said to me was, wow, I wouldn't like to be in your head, like there's really dark thoughts. And then I was like, okay, where's this going? Because my mum was sitting right next to me and I was like, okay, this is awkward. And then she was like, are you having suicidal thoughts? And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And then I started crying. And then she started crying, then my mum started crying, and then I was like, fuck my life. Because my anxiety that I'm feeling like this, because besides that, I would honestly enjoy life. And I love spending time with my friends, like Gemma, obviously, she takes my mind off it so much. Like, I just forget I have anxiety when I'm with her. She just makes me feel more alive, I guess. It might sound a bit stupid, but she just does. So thanks, Gemma. I only feel that way with Gemma. Normally if I'm going out with anyone else or doing anything with anyone else or seeing anyone else, I get anxiety, but with Gemma it's like, I'm just comfortable and my body relaxes and just forgets my problems and I just want to live forever. I'm not a lesbian. Yeah, my anxiety just ruins my day-to-day life really. That's why I probably won't commit suicide, so don't need to like call anyone to take me to rehab or something. Yeah, that's just like thoughts that I have, I guess, like suicidal, which is really bad and sad. I rhymed. But yeah, I just thought, because it's part of my anxiety, I thought might as well add that in there, like what my anxiety is making me feel and stuff. Don't go too much into the depressed side of things because don't need that. This is an anxiety video. Things I do to help when I have anxiety during the night. Maybe I have a bath because I need to just relax myself and I just feel it's comforting to me, I don't know why. It reminds me of my childhood. I listen to meditation music when I'm laying in bed trying to sleep because my thoughts are overpowering me and I just need something to relax me, like in the background. Don't know if you can hear it, but it's like waves and just peaceful music or anything. Do deep breathing, not always, because when I feel sick you don't want to do that because you think, oh my god, I'm going to be sick if I breathe in too much. Yeah, so I don't do that too often, but before it gets too bad I do that sometimes. I do sometimes like I pinch myself or I dig my fingers into my thumb, because if you have pain somewhere else it kind of like distracts your mind and makes it go straight to the place where it's painful, so I do that a lot. My nails, that's normally from nerves and just anxiety, but it doesn't calm me as such, it's just what I do. That's all I have. Like, I don't really have anything to help me cope because I'm suffering really bad recently and I'm just hoping to find something in my life that helps me get over it completely because I just cannot live like this. So until I find a way, I guess I'll update you if I do ever find a way. Hopefully. Sorry for the lighting, I just went down to have dinner and the battery's on like the last bar, so I don't know if this is going to cut me off. But to bloody end it off on a happy note, at the moment I'm doing okay. At this very moment in time I am fine, so don't worry if you were. Yeah, I'm going to end it here, so if you relate to this in any way, if you just like to hear people's anxiety stories, if you have experiences of your own, comment down below, leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more of the videos that we post, because I post with my friend Gemma and she does separate videos as well as like joined with me. Yeah, it's like a mixture. Okay, so I don't want this to die, so I'll say goodbye and thank you for watching. Sorry for being a Debbie Downer. Bye. God, my life sounds depressing, doesn't it?